my mind. I did but see her passing by, yet will I love her till I die. Her gestures, motions, and...
I think that'll be enough of that, Pike, thank you.
Sorry, Mr. Mannering.
We'll learn as you grow older that the bank manager's office is no place for singing.
Sorry, Mr. Mannering.
Morning, Frank. Good morning, sir.
Oh, good morning, Wilson.
It's good news about the Home Guard dance, isn't it, sir?
Oh, well, all work and no play, you know, Pike. Besides, it gives our wives and sweethearts a feeling that they're part of the grand effort. Makes them feel that we're all pulling in the same direction.
Does that mean we can bring a friend, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. Who did you have in mind? One of your old Boy Scout friends?
No, sir. I was going to bring a girl.
A girl? Oh, well, I suppose that's what dances are for, really, yes. Discuss it with Corporal Jones. He's in charge of the invitations.
Yes, sir. I'll bring you coffee in a minute, sir.
Thank you.
There is a lady...
Pike.
Sorry, forgot.
I'm not at all satisfied with that boy's work recently, you know. Never seems to stop humming.
Well, I think he's just letting his thoughts dwell on his private life, sir.
Oh, don't be absurd, Wilson. He hasn't got a private life. Mere boy.
Well, he's going on 19, and he's walking out with an AT.
With a what?
An ATS girl.
Good heavens. You should put a stop to that at once. We never know where these girls come from.
She's a local girl, actually, and she's on leave, and her name is Violet Gibbons.
I know that girl.
Oh, yeah?
Her mother used to clean for us twice a week. Obliging, as she used to call it.
Yes, well... now her daughter's obliging Frank.
Wait a minute. Hadn't that girl used to work in a fish and chip shop?
Yes, that's right. That's the answer, yes.
Oh, no. Wrong sort of background altogether. The bank doesn't like that sort of thing, you know.
Well, what sort of thing?
You know perfectly well what sort of thing. The wrong girl could ruin that boy's entire career in the bank. What does his mother say?
Well, she doesn't know.
Well, you'd better have a word with him.
Well, why me?
Well, the boy hasn't got a father. You've been friendly with his mother for years. I should think you're the next best thing.
Just because I happen to know Mrs. Pike quite well, it doesn't mean that I've got to act as a Dutch uncle to Frank.
You worry me sometimes, you know, Wilson. You'd do anything rather than face up to your responsibilities. You've never really grown up, have you? You're not a middle-aged chief clerk at all. You're a sort of Peter Pan. I don't know how you expect ever to get your own branch.
Well, be that as it may, Frank Pike is not my responsibility.
And I'm sure a lot of people will be very pleased to hear that.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's no business of mine. But this is a very small town, Wilson. Tongues wag. People put two and two together, you know. You and Mrs. Pike arrived here about the same time, both from Weston-super-Mare. You look at that boy in certain lights, you know, there is a resemblance, the same hairline. He has certain characteristics, like pulling the lobe of his ear.
The whole idea is outrageous. I mean to say, Mavis would have mentioned it.
No, I'm sure it's just idle gossip, but I think a word from you would come best.
All right, so then I'll have a chat to him.
Good. By the way, don't make any appointments for me after 3 o'clock this afternoon. I have a meeting in the church hall with the dance committee.
All right, right.
It's a lovely day tomorrow.
Now, as this dance is in the nature of a recreation, I thought it better if we were to meet in this friendly and relaxed way rather than a more formal atmosphere. Yeah, pay attention, Walker. Don't lean on the desk. Now, I thought it best, and please correct me if you think I'm wrong, that we should each be responsible for one aspect of Operation Dance.
Mr. Mannering,
Yeah.
I'd just like to say, on behalf of the men present, it's a very nice idea.
Thank you very much, Jones. Now, what, I ask myself, are the essential ingredients? What do we need for a successful dance?
A floor.
I'm not actually asking for suggestions at this stage, Walker. As I see it, there are 3 things. Music to dance to, food for the inner man, and drink for conviviality.
There's another thing we need, sir.
What is that?
Women.
I think we can take that for granted.
Yeah, what about the booze, though, sir? I mean, that's very difficult, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible.
Aye, but you can get it for us, can't you, Joe?
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, I've got contacts.
Yes, well, in this case, I don't think we need to trouble you, Walker. The secretary of the golf club has agreed to stand by us in the matter of drink.
Sucks to you, Joe.
Yeah. Where do you think the golf club get it from?
All right. Now we come to the question of food.
If it's any help, I'm rather good at making maids of honor.
Blimey, that's a relief all round.
Actually, no, they're little buns with some icing on the top of them.
Yes, I'm sure they'll be most welcome, Godfrey. Can you help us in this matter, Jones?
Yes, sir. I have earmarked 6 pounds of sausages. More than that, I cannot do.
Oh. Oh, we'll be very grateful for those.
No, I tell a lie. I've also earmarked some fat for frying. Then we can put them in the fat and fry them.
Tell you what, sir. We can cut them up into quarters and put them into sausage rolls.
Yes, that's a very stimulating suggestion. For my part, I think I can say that Mrs. Mannering would manage to throw a case around them. She's very ingenious in that sort of way. Now, this brings us to the band. Now, in these troubled times, this is a very difficult question. Miss Rowlands and her colleagues have offered their services. You may remember they used to play in the afternoons at the Marigold Tea Rooms.
I don't think we ought to have too much of that jazz music.
Blimey, there's not much chance of that with Miss Rowlands. Talk about Nat Ganella.
What we need is some good tunes.
Tell Me Pretty Maiden is a very nice tune.
Yeah, and any old iron.
You can't dance to any old iron.
Well, Harry Champion does.
Listen, sir, I mean, it's none of my business, but if you get that Miss Rowlands and that friend of hers with the buns on her ear holes and that cello between her legs and that old bat from the library playing on the harp, we might as well all go home.
I don't often agree with you, Joe, but this time, by God, you're right.
Of course I'm right.
Yes, well, I think there's some force in what you say, Walker. Question is, where are we to find any musicians?
What about the Salvation Army?
Oh, that's a marvellous idea, the Salvation Army. Ladies and gentlemen, take your partners for what a friend we have in Jesus.
Walker, may I remind you that we are on church property?
I'm sorry, sir, but honestly, the Salvation Army... Yeah, listen, I'll tell you what. One of the lads in the platoon, he can play the piano. Now, there's an RAF holding station down at Goddleston. Now, I'll pop down there and see what they got.
Oh, good. Splendid. Well done. Well, Operation Dance is well and truly launched, and I think we can say that we can bring her to harbour safely and successfully.
Barring torpedoes.
Barring.
Sing like anything.
Frank, I don't think those pictures ought to be back to back like that. I mean, it looks as if they've had an argument.
You've got to take them down.
I think you'd better. I mean, it looks ridiculous like that. I mean,
I've got the rosettes here, Wilson.
Oh, good. Well done, sir. Good.
That's the secretary for you, MC for Jones, and the chairman for me.
Oh, great. That's very good, sir. Who wears the wine one?
I'm giving you that to Walker.
Oh, I see. I thought the secretary of the golf club was taking care of all that.
Yes, well, when it came to the point, he couldn't get the extra drink,
Oh, I
but...
see.
I think that'll be all right, sir.
Yes, I think so. Put those in the office, would you?
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. You had a word with that boy yet?
No, not yet, sir. No.
Why not?
Well, the opportunity hasn't presented itself, sir.
Just presented itself now. He's in my office.
Well, you can't just nosedive into a personal matter like this, you know. You need the right sort of atmosphere. I mean, a log fire, a cozy chair, a pipe, a glass of port.
Peter Pan.
My God, Mannering, you can hit pretty low when it suits you.
Mr. Mannering, sir, I want to speak to you. Now, I was lying in bed last night and I suddenly had an idea.
Really?
I thought, what about a cabaret? You see, I do some very good humorous monologues and various forms of mimicry. And Fraser, he does a marvellous Highland sword dance.
Yes. Well, I'll mention it to the committee.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Jock, I spoke to Mr. Mannering about your sword dance.
I've got right off the idea.
I think I'll go and see what Mr. Mannering wants me to do.
No, Frank, no. Don't go yet. My goodness me. We've never had a chance, have we, really, to be alone together, have a, you know, cosy little chat.
Haven't we, Uncle?
Yes, well, looking forward to the dance, are you?
Oh, yes, thank you, Uncle.
Yes, well, you don't have to keep on calling me Uncle, you know.
Sorry, Sergeant.
Or that either. I mean, both grown up, men of the world. I'm Frank. No, I'm not. You're Frank. I'm Arthur.
How'd you do?
Anyway, you're quite grown up now, you know, Frank, aren't you? I mean, we can both look each other in the eye, can't we? Talk, man to man.
Nice, isn't it?
Yes, well, there are heaps of things we can talk about, you know, things that we've never talked about before.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, would you stop saying it's nice, Frank? It's terribly irritating.
I'm sorry, Uncle. Sergeant. Yeah. Arthur.
Yes, all right, Frank. All right. I'm sorry, Frank. I didn't mean to upset you.
Well, that's all right. Arthur. It's very nice being able to talk man to man, isn't it?
Yes, it's nice. Good, I mean. Good. Nice.
Well, what should we talk about, then?
What? Well, Well, have we? We've never really had a chance to have a little chat about girls, have we?
Oh, that. Oh, I know all about the birds and bees and things.
No, I didn't mean that.
Miss Beckworth told us.
Oh, good.
She knows quite a bit about girls.
Yes, I'm sure she does, yes.
She knows a good deal about boys as well.
What I would like to know is who are you going to take to the dance with you?
Well, I thought I'd take my girlfriend, Violet Gibbons.
Precisely, yes. Violet Gibbons, yes. That's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about.
Why? You don't want to take her, do you?
Well, certainly not. I don't know, do I?
I didn't think you did. She's wonderful. She's the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world. I love her, Uncle Arthur. When I woke up this morning, I wanted to run to the top of the church tower and shout it to the winds. I love Violet Gibbons, I wanted to shout, but I didn't.
I think you're very wise. I mean, so many mistakes can be made. I mean, so much is to be thought about. Is she suitable, for instance?
Suitable for what?
Oh, for the bank.
Well, why she wasn't going to the bank? I mean, she's in the ATS.
No, my dear boy, no. I didn't mean that. I mean, after the war, when all this is over. You see, when you come back.
Well, she won't want to go into the bank then. She'll be married to me.
Married?
Can you keep a secret?
Yes, I suppose so, yes.
We're going to surprise everyone at the dance tonight. I'm going to announce our engagement in the middle of it, just like Jack Oakey did with Zazu Pitts.
No, Frank. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I mean, you've got to think of your mother. It would give her a terrible shock.
Oh, no. When Jack Oakey did it with Zazu Pitts, she thought it was the best bit of the whole film.
Frank, I think it's just possible that this may be different.
Well, obvious to me, you've made an absolute mess of it.
But in that case, why don't you talk to him, sir?
No. That wouldn't be a good idea at all. You must get somebody nearer to his own age group. Try Walker.
No, I don't think it'd do any good me having a word with him. I mean, you know, when he wants to, he can be very pig-headed. Here, what about his mum? Has she washed her hands of the whole thing?
No, Joe, I didn't mean that, you see, Mavis doesn't even know the girl exists. I mean, if he blurts all this out of the dance, I mean, she'll make the most awful scene.
Yeah. Here, what about if I have a word with Violet?
Yes, that's not a bad idea. Violet? You know Violet?
Well, you know it is. Well, you know, I was a bit keen on her once when she worked in Woolworths, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And when she went to work in a fish shop, I don't know, somehow it was sort of different. I mean, it was all right watching football out in the open, you know, but when she got hot in the pictures... I mean, you know, people used to shift their seats. I mean, a man finds that humiliating, doesn't he?
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Perhaps you could have a word with her, Joe. Perhaps she could persuade him not to be too hasty.
Yeah. She tried to persuade me that way once. Mind you, I never was a good...